Yeah, man. It's like a shame. You know what I mean? I just say for black people in general, like I think the old saying say, when you play both sides of the fence, you get hit with arrows from both sides. I mean, silence is approval. You can't no longer remain silent. You know what I'm saying? Like you just can't, remain silent, humble, and meek about situations. You know what I mean? Like you say, you gotta hate it in your heart. You gotta speak out against it, whatever you can. But you have to do something, man. There's too much going. Like you know what I'm saying. You don't want to sleep. You won't be sleep at the world. Sleep at the wheel while change is happening in America. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. So I say that to say, I'll just transition into like the shooter. I think it's a saying in the Quran, Surah Baqarah, that says slaughter. I mean, it says slaughter. I mean, it says oppression is worse than slaughter. So when you're oppressed, that's worse than being dead sometimes, man. So to me, when I was 25, I had that type anger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're still developing, you know what I mean? You're a soldier, you know what I mean? Your intellect is coming together. And then, like you say, you would just snap. Something could happen, like, at 25, something happened, you would lay down a lot of people. That at 35, like, a little wisdom might kind of balance you out. But at 25, that's a natural reaction. You're a soldier. You're in soldier mode. So, like, to just keep somebody, and then, like you said, you hear, it's funny because when I was watching all the interviews, nobody who knew this man said nothing bad about him. Only person ever said something about him was people in the military. It was funny. They had a sister from the neighborhood was like, he did her a favor. He wasn't dating her. He used to walk her son to school every day just to help her out so she could get ready for work. He didn't do. Everybody say he was wild. He was nice, well spoken, not family members. That this dude was a nice guy. They said they never seen no hate in him or anything. And his mother said when he went to the military, he came back a different person. This is where he got radicalized. That he was all the racism and like he was disillusioned about what it would be. Like they say you go to the army do this and he get in there and it's not for him. So you become an outcast. You see the system for what it is. So this is where it came at. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, for him to kill innocent Afghanistan people or kill innocent Iraqis and all this, and it was fine. So now he was fighting. Now he want to fight for his own people. He see his people getting killed. You know what I mean? He see his own people getting killed, and it spawned something in him. You know what I'm saying? So I could relate to that notion of snapping out and acting out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate anybody, I hate to say it, but is anybody really innocent? Because I don't think anybody with clear logic and sound in mind would just go join the police department. And I think, you know what I mean? Like you say, you looking at it from a money perspective, like a career, and even the police officers that won't speak out is because of their pensions. They don't, you know what I mean? The quote unquote good cops, right? They won't go against the system at place because of their pension and they're paid well. It's like they're in a mercenary role, right? So ultimately, if there's so many good cops, right? Why they don't create a barrier between us and the bad cops, right? If they're so good, this is the problem. They won't speak out against it. This wall of blue they talk about, they won't speak out against it. But they come against it. Stop snitching. They really stop snitching campaign, but they create the culture of it, right? Like, and then, like you say, there was some guy, look at the sister on the internet the other day who spoke out against the racist police. She was a cop. I don't know if y'all caught that. Oh man, you got to see this. She got like a emotional plea. Like, I got 3 sons. Like, you know what I'm saying? And, it's a shame when you black and a cop pull you over, like you said earlier, and the lights flashing behind your palms get sweaty. And like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, is this like, that's being oppressed, man. Like, your palms get sweaty, you shaking, you breaking out sweats, all because terror is upon you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for all these good cops out here, won't you police the bad ones? Won't you create a barrier and protect the people? You say you protect and serve. Won't you protect and serve them what you say you do? Right? So this, you know what I mean? The contradictions is going, you know what I mean? The contradictions is going to get higher and higher, man. And people, and you talk about the bully fighting you. You hit the bully back out of necessity, right? And this is what people want to do, man. You can't just keep hitting people and smacking them in the mouth and think they're not going to hit you back. This is how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Everything that ever been produced in this world was born out of necessity, and that's what's going to happen. You know?
No doubt. Border, bro. We border.
Come on, brother Kirk.
1871. 1871. The Ku Klux Klan was founded. Right after the Ku Klux Klan was founded, the NRA was founded. This dude in Minnesota got shot because he exercised his Second Amendment right to bear arms. You ain't hear nothing. No outrage. You know, if they were really concerned with the Second Amendment, then Carlton Heston should be turning his grave. But when you look at history, the very first gun laws that were codified was to take guns away from former slaves because there was a fear factor there. Like you said, if there's one head here, there's 4 heads on it. Because there's always the fear factor. And I just posted on Facebook today, if this offends you, then you may suffer from a collective narcissism, aka your racism. Because we're disturbing you in your comfort zone. And you have to protect the status quo. And me and a brother, I do Uber, me and a brother was in the car, and I shared with him, I said, remember the movie The Matrix? A system controlled to controllers. I mean, a system created to controllers. And when you buy into the system, aka Black Cop, aka the brother that thinks he's stuck in the hood and he ain't going to get no better. I mean, there's a whole lot of versions of the system and the narratives that the system feeds, but when you buy into it and something threatens it, you defend it. And the boy, who my man, Larry Fishburne, aka Lawrence Fishburne, told the boy, said, remember the lady in the dress? Look again. He turned back around, gun pointed to his head. Anybody that's attached to this system that we live in, that buys into, that's been indoctrinated by it, they want to protect it. Because in order for you crabs in the barrel, crabs in the pot, can't turn off the fire. Like we can make as much noise as possible and try to educate ourselves and maybe stop climbing on each other's backs. But ultimately, whoever's outside of my pot got to turn off the fire. So although this is my issue and I suffer from it, I didn't create it. People that look like me didn't create it. And I had a discussion with a brother, and he was like, yeah, I'm not racist, so I raised my kids not to be racist and all this. But the law of physics is object of motion will stay in motion unless acted upon the equal and opposite force. So if you're non-racist, that means you're watching the ball of wax roll. You have to be anti-racist to stop that ball of wax roll. So you got to speak up against it. You got to say something against it. Yo, that's not right. Yo, I understand where you're coming from. I feel your pain. But to say that to him isn't right. To treat him that way isn't right. That's what we're going to need from others that don't look like us. And for us, if we see, same thing, if we see somebody going a certain way, and we spoke about this, you know, we got to pull it. Yo, brother, come here, man. You asked me for $1. Well, the way it should work is you should ask me, how can I earn $1? And we got to school. We got to apply that momentum against what is bothering us.
And can I just elaborate on something he said? I don't know about a place, but like, you know, when people now look at the Second Amendment, it's like this. The Second Amendment wasn't for black people. And I don't think people understand that. You know, now, I guess due to the way society developed, you got to be included in it. But when you look at the language of the second, Madison wrote it, when you look at the language of it, right, it says that it was a state, a militia could be formed, a state militia. The state militia is to put down a slave rebellion. People think it's to keep the government in check. No, it wasn't for that. You hear this rhetoric. It's the Second Amendment and the right to form militia and bear arms was to put down slave revolt. So let's be clear on that when we talk about, like, you know, the Second Amendment. And they, like, you know, it always shows you that they don't care about a no amendments unless it applies to them. Look at it. 2 weeks ago, the Fourth Amendment was shredded, right? There's no more illegal search and seizure. They can pull you over illegally. Anything they find in your car is in play. That throws the Fourth Amendment out the window. So let's be clear on what these laws and statutes really mean. That's all.
Okay. I mean, yes. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Come on, brother. Look, we were brought-haired slaves, and we still slaves. One of the issues is that we think we progress. We haven't progressed not day one. You know, a black cop is nothing more than a nigga with a badge. Ooh, there it is. And that's what you're looked at. There it is. You know, and I like my brother Reed talked about the so-called good cops. I agree with that. If you're a so-called good, see, and you talk about the wall of blue, which I also want to piggyback on. You're brainwashed. You know, this pervasive brainwashing that's going on for hundreds of years is now in the police department. When you're on the police department, they tell you, oh, there's no white, there's no black, it's blue. No. I don't know about y'all, but I'm about spirituality and it's about right or wrong. If I see you do something wrong, I'm checking you. You know, no, you're not going to do that on my watch. You're not going to be aggressive to a guy and he was not aggressive to you. But they're so brainwashed in this when we talk about being scared. Black people are scared on all levels, even in the police department. I'm not talking about scared of going out dealing with, you know, criminals and so forth. I'm talking about scared to lose their jobs. That's why they keep silent. They see something wrong all day long. But do they say something? Say, hold on, man. That's not what we do. I see how you did that. I'm like, no. They do nothing wrong, so forth. But they're so scared about losing their job, so they're not being robbed with fame. They go along with that BS. Oh, no, it's not white or black, it's just us. No, if you do something wrong, I'm checking you. All lives matter. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to co-sign on that because God don't want me to co-sign on that. I'm not going to go out for something you did. If you treat, and I say, look, if you treat people in the manner they should be treated, then they're going to treat you that same way. But no, if you keep coming off aggressive, you're going to reap what you sow. And guess what? I'm going to reap that too. I can't have that. You know what I mean? So, just like Brother Wayne said, we got to have these cops, the so-called good cops. When you see something wrong, you stand out. You check somebody. Say, no, that's not what we're doing. If you're so tough when you come upon a criminal, you know, you ready to go upside their head, beat them up, or go upside your partner's head. Say, yo, my man, what's up with that? We're not doing that. And if you got a problem with that, we can take this right off and go right around this corner. You know what I mean? It's about right or wrong. When you start treating people with love and treat them right, guess what? You're not going to have the stuff in Texas. You're not going to have the uprising and revolts and the anger that you're going to have now and whatever's going on and what may come in the future. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. You understand? Do the right thing all the time and you ain't got to worry about this. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. We've been so brainwashed. It's just absurd. We think we progressed. We haven't progressed yet. Because you're making a couple of dollars, you got a luxury car, you got a house, you know what I mean? Designing clothes, so forth. No, you haven't. Because this shows you what's going on in society. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The reason I ain't beating your head because you work with them. But what are they saying behind your back? You know, the mentality is still the same. You know what I mean? So focus on doing the right thing. You know, no, it is no blue. If you're doing wrong, well, check me. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous, you know, and the plan has been executed. I gotta give it to them. It has worked to charm. Now it's time for us to really start analyzing and say, well, hold on a second. Maybe I need to rethink exactly how far we've come. Maybe we haven't come far at all. You know, maybe I just think I've come far because I'm living a little bit better than somebody else is on a different, you know what I mean, area, or I'm driving a little bit nicer car. But guess what? When it all comes out, I'm still just a black person. And if they pull me over and I'm not wearing my uniform, am I going to get the same? You know, and this is stuff we got to start thinking. You know, for too many centuries, we've come to think that we've really progressed and we've risen up. But we haven't. We haven't, because the mentality is still there. No, we're not still on a plantation picking cotton. You know what I mean? But that mentality of, guess what? I think that I'm better than a black person is still there. Whether you want to agree with it or not, whether you believe it or not, it's embedded. You may not even know it. Psychological ways. Yeah. You may not even know, but you see so much black on black crime, people shooting each other. You say, oh yeah, they are the enemy. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You could have grew up around black people all your life. Black mother. You know, but you have seen so much stuff that infiltrated your mind. And say, yeah, that's why I got to go. And I see other officers being aggressive. That's what I need to do. No. You know, I'm fall back again. You know, we'll go with this. I got so much to say, so
yes. Listen, I think a lot of our people don't even realize that we have been looked at as, not even looked at. I mean, it's stated. This is in black and white. We are 3/5 of a man. You understand? So our lives matter none. Never have in this country from gate. You know what I mean? So to me, when I see the marching and I see the picketing and all that kind of thing like that, you know, and this is just my personal opinion. You know, shit, black people have been marching probably 60 plus years as for the same thing. Uh, we want equality, justice. We want proper housing. We want certain type of jobs and things of that nature, right? Begging for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yet still, I mean, if you're doing that for 60 plus years, homie, that means that's not working. Now, it might, don't get me wrong, it might ruffle some feathers. However, the boys got the game plan. I hate to say plan because the plan is only from the creator. I'm just saying that these European and this Eurocentric government, they already have the agenda and have had it. You feel me? So we can't do it that way. You know, and I don't want to continue to reiterate what I feel we should do because I already said it earlier, and I believe that to be true. You know what I mean, because once you get their attention, then they back the fuck up. Seriously, I'm sorry. In any type of situation that you can think of in life, if somebody is taking advantage of somebody, once they say enough of this, they back the fuck up. You understand? And this is what must happen with us. Because, to be honest with you, I believe that we're failing not only our children, our women, our brothers, we're failing our ethnicity as a whole because we're not doing nothing to stop this.
Right.
Do you understand that every black man that is murdered for no reason, he has a family? Like, you know what I mean? He's a son. He's probably a father. He's a brother. He's a uncle.
Destroyed.
You understand? So it's not just him that's affected. You have affected plenty of other black people. So they're crushing us at an alarming rate and have been. This must end. I'm sorry. This must end. I mean, you know, I'm gonna take. Go ahead, brother. I mean, you know, this is that.
I just piggyback, like you say, when you mentioned the whole 3/5 of a man, like you say, relegated back down to cattle. But even the going to Dred Scott decision, right? It said that Chief Justice Cheney ruled that a black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect. And it's present. This is legislation. This is the Supreme Court ruling. We have the black man has no rights that a white person is bound to respect. And this is what you see. They do not respect us. We're subhuman. Like, you know, there's no consequence to their actions of just exterminating people. This is ethnic cleansing, genocide at its finest. You know what I'm saying? And when you want to sugarcoat it and make it like it's something else, and it's just a few bad cops and do this, and like, you know, even with this whole cop situation, people, the cops over there, oh, we try to hire black people, they want them to be cops. They see what's going on. Who wants to be a part of that? Like, you know, who really wants to be a part of that? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's a crying out shame, man. Just like, you know, it's like, and I pick it back on brother side, like you say, man. I was telling somebody the other day, like, you know, it's disheartening. Like, it almost like we're cowards on some level as men that you let 14-year-old girls get slammed on the head. You let little boys 8 and 9 years old get gunned down. And like I say, they gunned down Tamir Rice. And 2 weeks ago, it was 2 white kids with BBs in Cleveland who didn't get shot. The same thing. Our kids got to be allowed to be kids. A kid has to allow to be a kid, man. No matter what race it is, but like we're cowardly. All we do is want to huff and puff, and we want to see lawsuits when our kids get gunned down, and we want mostly racially motivated, and boom, 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 boom. Like, you know, and it's almost like this is like a layover from slavery that we maneuver in a way for us just to survive. Going on just to get along, and you find that, like, you know what I'm saying? That's like you find that prevalence in the psyche of our people, man. Too many of us, like, you know, like you say, like you say, when you're not grounded, nothing morally, and you have no morals, no principles, nothing that is a higher calling to me. I got parameters that guide me. Certain things I just won't do. You know what I mean? Certain things I won't partake in. I'm going to speak to justice. So when some people who just move off their whims and desires, nothing guiding you. It's just like whatever you hear across the TV, and then you regurgitate the thought process. You know what I'm saying? You just regurgitate what you think. Yeah, like you don't analyze it, you don't comprehend it, but you repeat it. And that's what's going on with too prevalent. Barack Obama, he shouldn't do that for black people. He's the president for everybody. No. America means this is something for something. That's, I think, the Latin saying is quad pro quam.
Quid pro quo.
Exactly. It means when you do something for me, I do something for you. When all these people, when all these billionaires give all this money to elected officials, they want something back. When middle class people vote, we want something back. When black people vote, we want something back. So when we start understanding these concepts, this is what I mean. We want to integrate America, but we don't want to play on by the rules and the standards and do what we got to do. But like, you know, this is what you hear black people. Oh, Barack Obama's the president for everybody. Like, everybody's got something out of them. The gays, the Mexicans, they got legislations passed on their behavior. This dude won't even address the injustice that black people being gunned down. Then he can put special laws to protect us. This is crazy that I'm even saying that, but obviously we need some more protection than everybody else. We are the ones, we got to indoctrinate our kids. When the cops come up on you, you do this, you do this. Nobody else is held to the standard, right? Nobody else. We gotta chow ourselves down. We gotta castrate ourselves when we pull over by the police and act like fucking chumps when nobody else is act like this. It ain't about being no tough guy, Tony, but you got a man. You gotta act. He's talking to you like you 12 years old. You're older than this motherfucker. He pulling you over, and you. Yes, sir. They're like, what? Like, you're 40 years old, he's 21, and you gotta talk to him like you give more respect you give your dad. Like, are you serious, man? He was like, you serious? Like, you know what I mean? So like, man, this is the feminization of the male also. Like, you know what I mean? You can't be a man. You can't interact with people on a human level. You gotta cower down and, you know, hold your hands on the wheel a special way. Don't say this, don't say that. And I'm not saying you gotta antagonize the situation, but when do white people get pulled over? Where you're coming from? Where you're going? Do you got a job? Is your car registration? Like, this is racism. That's all it is. And this is the perpetuated cycle. This is what keeps people hating the police, man. So obviously, the war been declared on us. Are they our enemy? Like, how can somebody keep smacking your face and say they like you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's hold everybody to the same standard as everybody, right? Like, a friend is a friend, an enemy is an enemy. And when you show your hand by which way you go, you know what I mean? So that's the real, man.
Actions speak louder than words. Yo, you hit on mad points, man. Yo. I'm ready. I've been guilty of what you said. You know, when I'm riding and the flashing lights pull up behind me, like, yo, when I leave the house, I make sure to put my driver's license right here, so it's in plain sight when I reach for it. I'm a grown ass man, 46 years old, and I'm still worried about getting stopped by the police and what they're going to do for me when I get stopped. I got stopped in 1998 for suspicion of aggravated assault, possession of stolen property, I mean, it was a list of stuff. And the cops stopped me, 10 squad cars. I'm at Low and Choose down the street from 39th District, probably one of the most corrupt districts in the city. And I'm so scared. He asked me for my information. I pulled my joint out and dropped it right on the floor. And I'm like, I froze. And I was like, I dropped my license. And he was like, yeah, you want to see it? And I was like, well, I'm going to reach for it. Right. Real slow. And it was like watching the $6 million Man. You can hear the sound effects in my head. It came back up with it. And it's the system. And the system is created to maintain the status quo. My man quoted some Latin, quid pro quo. And I said earlier, favors beget favors. Don't ask me to do something for you if you ain't doing nothing for me. I was listening to NPR today, and they were talking about Make Them Take It, and she was like, yo, is the system set up? It's a grid. And she was like, look, the only people in the room were the bankers. So who do you think the laws is for? Who do you think the politicians hurt? And I had that conversation with myself. I've been stopped by the cops since I was 12. They asked me, what you doing around here? I live around here. Where you live? I live right over there. Where's your ID? I don't have any ID. Why don't you have any ID? I'm 12. I'm 12. You know, I didn't know what to say to the officer. I just moved to Limo Gardens in Cheltenham Township. And the Philando Castile stopped 31 times. Because we're human. If you stop us enough, if you look at us enough, you will observe a mistake. And that's what they're waiting for, that one mistake, so that they can label you felon. They can put a ceiling on you. You can't rise any higher than that. You're cheap labor for the rest of your life. Ain't no cheaper labor than slavery. So now you have a private prison complex that enslaves people, that gets cheap labor and sells it out. And then they... All right.
And also the government promised a certain amount of bodies. How can you promise bodies to the private prison industry? Think about that. Promised you, and they got to pay a fine if these bodies, if this certain body count is not kept in private prisons, the government has to pay a fine.
Yeah. Lock up the super predators, and we about to elect them. Because what's the choice? I mean, is she going to help the system? Is she going to help us? I mean, she labeled us super predators. I caught that case in 1998. I was a super predator. I had to sit for 3 months. I lost my job. It fractured my wedding, my marriage. My son, was pulled into it. His 3rd birthday, he had to come to see me wearing prison scrubs.
That hurts.
And that day I said, yo, don't bring him here no more. He doesn't need to see this image of me as his father. He needs to see another image, and I need to create that image. So, and I had to talk with him, and I said, look, son, when they stop you, call him sir, call him man, officer. I apologize, defer. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Daisy. I mean, it's literally that all over again. And it's a shame that we have to do that to preserve our lives. Like, self-preservation is #1 law. So when you get upset with a brother, when you get upset with a brother for shooting 5 people who wearing a badge and carrying a gun because they've shot hundreds of thousands of millions of people for not carrying a badge and not carrying a gun, and you get upset, but you treat the effect, not the cause. So in essence, you're not helping to stop it, you're helping perpetuate it.
Well, I'm not looking for someone who doesn't like me, who has oppressed me, to do anything for me. Because I don't believe I'm insane.
Keep that.
Come on, brother. Can you repeat that?
Absolutely.
Rewind that.
I said, I'm not looking for someone who doesn't like me and who has oppressed me to do something for me, because I don't believe I'm insane. So, the time is now. We need to collectively, like Brother Side said, step up. And you touched on something, and I appreciate what you touched. You said this talks about the feminization.
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 We got the message.
of the black male. We have been castrated too much. We have no cojones in us. None. Oh, we'll go out and shoot each other over $5.
Mm-hmm.
Or you mess with my chick. But if you see another brother getting some injustice done, we won't stand up and do anything. But now at the time we need to do something. But now at the time we need to collectively get together that when we see these police stops, guess what? We need to stop the car. We need to get out. Get out, you got your cell phone, start taping, and just be around them and just watch them. You know, because I guarantee you, they got about 10 brothers out there on these police stops, and they were acting accordingly. Because, see, brothers are watching. We're making sure you do what you need to do. And if you don't do what you need to do, then we're here. We just want to let you know that we're here. That's our brother, and we want to make sure you're following the rules of the law. You know, that's what we need to do. We need to come back together, you know what I mean? Start showing the love we have for each other. You know, say, look, my man, I'll be honest, I don't even know you, but because you're a black brother, I love you. And I want to show you that. You know what I mean? We need to start getting involved. We become too passive with stuff. And as you said, so something major happens, then we want to picket, then we want to march, and then we want to beg. I'm not begging you for jack. What am I begging a master to give me something and expect him to give me something? That's crazy. You know what I mean? I don't beg. See, we grown men. What are we begging for? What are we asking somebody to do something for us for? We're the ones that built this country. We're the ones that control the family. We're the ones that got the power. We're the ones that got the strength. We're the ones that got everything we need. What are we asking somebody else to do something for? No, it's time for us to take us there and do something ourselves. You know, put whatever issues that we had against each other aside and say, yo, we got an issue here. We need to help out these brothers. We need to help out our brothers. Guess what? If we don't help them, then I'm next.
Mm-hmm.
And I really would like somebody to help me. You know what I mean? We gotta get together with this. I don't know. We become so punctified. It's just ridiculous. We have to start getting back. As I think somebody talked about having some type of moral. But when we talk about moral, we have to stand for something. We got to start standing for right. If it's not right, it's wrong, and we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not just going to sit and talk about it. We're not going to get on social media and type about it. We're going to say, no, we need to get out and do something. You know, we need to start getting out in our communities. You know what I mean? Backing these people up, showing them, no, we got you, bro. Don't worry, we here. We got you. Say, yo, thanks, my man. You know what I mean? And this is what makes these people start, as you say, when a bully gets punched in the face, he back the fuck up. Oh.
Change the plan.
Well, guess what? There's no more period. You know what I mean? If you feel that you that tough a dude and you want to hide behind that bag, well, guess what? We right here. You know what I mean? Until you start acting accordingly. Now, when you start acting accordingly, then you ain't got to worry about that. But I just say this stuff keeps going on year after year after year after year, century after century after century after century. And we up here begging and begging, man, say, oh, please stop killing us. Oh, please stop shooting us. Please treat us with respect. Please do this and that. And that. We've never been that type of. We strong black men.